What's up, storytellers? Ian Garlic here, and I'm gonna make sure that I'm using the right mic. Last time I didn't use the right mic. You might check out the last video or two videos ago. When I was in here, had a new setup, and it wasn't using my handy dandy ATR mic. Mic's important. But I want to talk a little bit about mindset. It's Monday, Mindset Monday. I used to do a Mindset Monday blog. You can go check it out over on irongarlic.com. I've done a ton of them. And working on mindset is one of those things that, we have to do. Just like you, I get nervous. Just like you, I get frustrated. Just like you, I want to grow as fast as possible. Just like you, I get nervous and self-doubt. I talked about imposter syndrome before. But this weekend, I was listening to Steve Jobs' biography. I've been listening to it for a while. It's 24 hours long on Audible. Amazing, though. Probably one of the best. It's just amazing. It's the history of the future and all the things that Steve Jobs did. And, one of the mindsets that really came out was when he found out he had cancer. Having the right mindset really can allow you to it'll help me make better videos. I need to work on it. It'll help me put out more videos. There's lots of days I have excuses. I'm not going to put a video out. I'm too tired. It's the end of the day. It's, 6 o'clock. I've been working for 12 hours right now. Had a long day. I had to drive an extra hour of the way to take Max to school today. I had to, then it was an extra 40 minutes to get in there because there was power lines all down. The car was soaked. I lost my AirPods. All this sort of stuff happened. And I've had a long, nonstop day. Just did an hour-long podcast interview. Long, nonstop day. And one of the things I'm working on is consistency, but also standing out. And, like listening to the audiobook, and I got to the point where Steve Jobs found out he had cancer. And one of the things that he had was a reality distortion field. And I think that was important. But really what supercharged the last few years of his life was the Memento Mori. And I don't think they actually described it there completely, but the Memento Mori, I forget which of the Stoics had one of the Stoic kings, I think, had someone follow him around and remind him every day, every moment that he was going to die. And this isn't a morbid thing. It's that, hey, the time, not only is the time here limited, but guess what? Most of the things that you do aren't going to be remembered, right? You have limited time. Most things you do aren't going to be remembered. Most of the things that you do that I say aren't going to have a huge impact. And, if most of us have a few hundred people at our funeral and remember us, it'll be amazing. And the reason I'm saying that is not to bring you down. It's not bringing you down, but it's a freeing thought, right? If you're going to die and that most people aren't going to remember stuff, why not just go all out? Play all out all the time and not worry about what other people are going to think. And that's, when I got to the point where Steve Jobs, got sick. I think it was like 2004, went away and then came back. They said he was even a bigger dickhead. And not so much that he was really a dickhead. I forget who talked about it, but he was passionate and just said what he thought. Because most of us are thinking a lot of this stuff, and want everything to be great, but we're afraid to put it out there. And also we're afraid to put out things into the world that we feel might upset people. Now, you shouldn't be mean just to be mean. In fact, they talk about him being one of the most sensitive, like emotionally sensitive people out there. But he knew how to motivate people, how to change people through this abruptness. And I think that, that's what some of us need to do. Now, there needs to be a comforting, and you have to be within your own skin. But imagine if everything that you said and did, you could say whatever you wanted because no one was going to remember it unless it was amazingly impactful on their life. Now, imagine that. And imagine that you could, that you put all this stuff out there and no one's going to pay attention to it unless it was super important. And that you always had this big reset button, because you kind of do. It's that Memento Mori, right? We're going to forget. 100 years from now, most of us are barely going to be remembered. Yeah, there'll be videos of 300 podcast episodes. Maybe my great grandkids will listen to them and laugh. But it's let's get out there and let's do stuff and get as much out there and have as much fun and enjoy yourself. And I don't mean you should work all the time and work yourself to the bone, but you should be doing the stuff that you're passionate about and putting the stuff passionate. If you have an idea, get it out there and try it out and realize that might not work and fail and fail and fail, because 100 years from now, your biggest failure and your biggest success are going to look a lot the same. Coming back to Steve Jobs, him getting fired from Apple might have felt at the time like his biggest failure. And now it looks like, from there he went on and failed at Next Computers and then Pixar, right? The biggest IPO ever at the time. How many amazing movies was he a part of? At one point, after his deal when Pixar was purchased by Disney, he was the biggest shareholder in Disney, right? And now that would have happened if he would have failed. And now looking back on it, it's just all part of his life. By the time, I'm sure it felt like failure. It felt, really, really bad. And I'm not saying that you're Steve Jobs or I'm Steve Jobs or MSR, but Memento Mori is something that I'm going to focus on. And I think that it's something we should all focus on. It's like, hey, let's get stuff out there. Let's not worry about if we're doing it to have an impact, if we're doing it to really get things done and do it the right way, and it's not genuinely hurting someone, let's do it. Let's get it out there. Let's get it done. All right, that's my Mindset Monday. Let me know if you've ever heard of Memento Mori, how you implement it, because it's one of those mindsets that I get sometimes and I don't. Sometimes I get it and it makes so much sense and I'm like, oh my God. And it works. And sometimes it's this abstract thought. But if it works for you, how do you make it work all the time? Do you have someone follow around and tell you? Should I get a dog that says that? I don't know. So let me know what you're thinking, and hopefully this helps you and we can work on it together.